This show was actually better than I anticipated. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I am bringing you guys another review, and as you can see by the title, today's review is on the latest Netflix film, MOXIE. Let's get started. However, before we get started, okay, let me just let y'all know that I'm going to be doing this review the same way as I did my review on GINNY and Georgia. I'm splitting it into two. I'll have my non-spoiler review first and then my spoiler review afterwards. So just check the timestamps in the description so you can skip back and forth. And also, I will tell you guys that I'm starting with the spoiler review just before I do. So just relax. Relax. If you haven't watched it, I'm not about to spoil yet. So for real, let's get started. So MOXIE basically is the story of Vivian, who ends up starting a feminist club in her high school after she meets this new girl in town, honey, called Lucy. And so we basically see how the whole revolution starts in their high school, okay? So from the word go, okay, when this movie starts, you are immediately able to tell what kind of movie it is. You are able to tell in which direction it's going in. You are just able to tell, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, okay? So there's quite a lot of familiar faces in this movie, okay, like Patrick Schwarzenegger, Josephine Langford, Amy Poehler. There's quite a lot of different familiar faces. There are some new faces as well, or at least they're new to me. And I liked the balance. I liked the balance of seeing new talent and seeing, people you were used to seeing as well. Okay, because when I saw Patrick Schwarzenegger, I was like, yes, Patrick! Because I absolutely loved him in Midnight Sun. So I was looking forward to seeing what he's, going to bring to the table. And I'm like, wow, he brought some variety, okay? Because Mitchell, the character he portrays in this movie, is completely different to the character he portrays in Midnight Sun. And I was living.
We going!
Oh, can I help you?
I don't know, can you?
He's bothering you.
He's harassing me.
If you use that word, that means I have to do a bunch of stuff.
So this movie is like a feminist movie through and through, talking about the double standards, between male and female. They focus on high school level most of the time because of the fact that these are high school students, so it's things with like dress code and, female sports not being supported as male sports and stuff like that, but okay, you can learn quite a lot from this film, I won't lie. It was entertaining as much as it was educational, So I was living, I was within, I was well, I was here for the revolution. I was like, it's a very good movie. I feel like everybody should enjoy some aspect of it. There's some drama, there's some fighting, there's some the only thing that's missing probably is like horror, but there's some romance embedded in it too. So I feel like there's something for everybody, or for most people, so I do think quite a large group of people would enjoy this. I'm just saying. So yeah, I think that's enough for non-spoilers. So if you have not watched this film and you want to watch it and you don't want spoilers, just go to the channel that is mine and go watch the rest of my videos in the meantime. And then once you've watched it, you can come back because it's time for the spoiler part of this review. Okay, so let's start with that. I watched the trailer, like when it just had come out. I watched the trailer, but I forgot what it was about, so I didn't know what to expect exactly, right? But what I did know is that I knew that Josephine Langford was in this film, because every time I went on Instagram and I saw a post speaking about MOXIE, Josephine Langford was the face of this film. And even when you Google MOXIE, the movie on Google, and you check the cast, the first person that shows up there is Josephine Langford, right? So I was like, Josephine Langford is gonna play an important role in this film. Josephine Langford, come through. Tessa, hello. Morgana shows up in like 6 scenes, guys. And the only time that is like very impactful is the final scene when she reveals that she was raped by Mitchell. So I'm just like, I don't understand how she became the face of MOXIE if she's not remotely close to being the main character. So I mentioned that the new girl in town, okay, Lucy Hernandez, shows up and she's like, yo, what's poppin', right? She new to the school, and then she starts getting picked, okay, she doesn't get picked on, but like she like, you know, stands up to Mitchell and is like, you can't be treating us like this, okay? If I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You can be actually mad. He throws a fit, you know, and then that's basically how the revolution starts. And it all mostly starts with a list.
Did you hear rankings are already starting? Emma Cunningham's just gonna get ranked most bangable for the 2nd year in a row. Kiera Pascal for best ass. Caitlin Price will take best rap. It's so nice not to be on anyone's radar. Totally.
It's basically like the list from 13 Reasons Why. You'll remember the list in season 1 of 13 Reasons Why, and I think Hannah Baker was like, what, voted best ass or something like that.
At first I thought, what a stupid list. Jessica is so much prettier than me.
Yeah, so they had like a list like that, right? So like the whole time they're talking about the list, I thought of 2 things. I thought of the list from 13 Reasons Why, and then there was like that episode from Liv and Maddie.
Some of the boys there have been rating us girls based on our looks, and that makes us girls feel like we have to change. But you don't have to change who you are to fit someone else's idea of what a girl is supposed to be.
So yeah, it started off with the list, and then when Lucy tries to go and report the list to the principal is like, oh no, you can't take this seriously. Basically covers for the boys, right? So then she's like, you ain't gonna be like that, you ain't gonna be like that. So then after that, that's when Vivian starts also being like, maybe things ain't popping around here. Things ain't popping around here, right?
Why have we all accepted it? Like no one even blinks.
Then what happened is that she starts this, it's a magazine thing called MOXIE. MOXIE, honey. Okay, so she prints this thing because she has money like that. She money like that you can afford to print like 100 copies every week. But like throughout this whole thing, okay, there's the one incident that brought back memories. Okay, this one incident, y'all remember that incident when one of the Mugele is there. She shows up to school with a tank top, and then the principal shows up and she's like, Mugele, you have to cover up, okay, because you're showing too much collarbone. Yes, that's what she said, you're showing too much collarbone. So then she's like, you gotta cover up. Morgana's like, I didn't bring anything to cover up. It's summer. It's hot outside. Who brings it? There's in summer. Okay, I'm adding that part out. That's what I got from it, right? So then she gets sent home for wearing a tank top when literally the person next to her was also wearing a tank top. But why was she the one sent home? Because Morgana is blessed in the breast cone area.
And that's messed up. I got sent home for wearing a tank top, meanwhile Jason is constantly shirtless.
Okay, so I'm just like, memories, guys. Story time. So what happened was this brought back memories from my high school, right? Because when in my matric year, guys, the kids from my school should remember this. So like in my high school, right? And it was like the beginning of the year. It was still fresh. Maybe it was there like February, March, eh? So now the teachers decided, actually it was one teacher, Morgana decided that she's gonna come for the girls of the school. Okay, she's gonna come for the girls in the school. And then she's gonna tell us that our skirts are too short from the back. So the school rule said that our skirts have to be 4 fingers above the knee, right? That's from the front. Okay, 4 fingers above the knee. Now, I think when they wrote that rule, they didn't take into consideration that usually us ladies of color are usually blessed in the rear area. So, even if it's 4 fingers above the knee in the front, it's gonna be like 8 in the back because the skirt's gonna lift a little bit because we are blessed, right? But it hadn't been a problem up until this time. But at this point now, Morgana, because she had gotten like a temporary promotion, she thought, now I'm head of the school. She gonna come for us. She gonna tell us that our skirts are too short and we gotta buy skirts. We're like, babes, we in matric. We ain't finna buy a new uniform in matric. So then what did we do? We're like, we don't wear our skirts, right? But we're like, okay, let's be nice. Let's be nice, okay? Let's work with the ma'am for a change. Let's see if we can reach, you know, a medium. So we're like, okay, we're gonna wear our school pants instead, right? So we wear our school pants, we go to school. Things are going nice, clearly. She wasn't a fan of the fact that she had found a pothole. We had found a pothole in her rule situation. Eh? So then what did she do? Like 2 days after, we're like, okay, we're gonna show up in skirts instead. Morgana tells us that our pants are too tight. Girls, we've got hips, we've got thighs. Big thighs save lives. Morgana wasn't having it, and we were also not having it, okay? We're like, we're not going to buy you a uniform just because you think our uniform is too short, okay? Just because you think our uniform is too tight, okay? We ain't finna do nothing about that because school's gonna be over in a few months and you ain't gonna see us. There's no point in us buying new uniforms, so deal with it because you are not even principal. Principal in complaining, you're the one complaining when you are just temporary. lady, sit down. Basically, what had happened is that it died down. Okay, she gave up because we're like, we're not about to buy a new uniform. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of the story time. So back to the movie, right? So Vivian starts MOXIE and she's like, okay, she starts calling out people, right? From the staff to the learners, calling out people in this thing. Now nobody knows who she is, okay, because MOXIE is anonymous. So that they don't know that Vivian is a person behind the thing, right? But then it turns into like this huge thing, like it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, right? Cool. So it starts to get momentum. It starts to gain momentum, and the girls are like, yes, we need a revolution, we need change, we need and then eventually it's gonna explode, and then there's going to be casualties, which is what happens, which is how her best friend ends up being suspended. Y'all remember that? But then things come together because things have got to come together. At the end, that's when they have like the little walkout. Yeah, and then we find out that Josephine Langford's character had been raped by Mitchell. And we're like, oh, what? They done did a Bryce walkout, yeah. But like, do y'all realize how quickly a walkout can turn awkward? Because y'all are walking out, right? You're like, you're walking out. It's a walkout. And then you'll get to the front of the school and you'll stand there like, that's what's up. Like, it just turns awkward. Like, if nobody's talking, you'll just stand there looking like fools. I'm just saying. Then, you know, when you plan a walkout, you gotta have a plan as to what's gonna happen on your gate to the front, because then you'll just look up. So what I didn't like about this film, though, well, about Vivian specifically, is the fact that when everything blows up in her face and then people get expelled, okay, they get suspended and all of that, she blames her mother. Okay, she blames her mother. And I'm like, Mogele, you can't blame your mother, because it's your fault that you didn't know when to quit. It's not your mama's fault that you didn't know when to draw the line. Okay, she was doing the exact same thing that Ginny was doing in Ginny and Georgia. Aren't you blaming your mother for your own problems that you created? Stand up for yourself. Deal with your own problems, okay? Now, do you have problems of your own that pre-existed? Yes, but the current ones that you are dealing with, that you are blaming your parents for, you created yourself. Honey, get together. But for me, Lucy is the main character, okay? As, like, they might try and paint Vivian as the main character, but Lucy is the main character. Because if Lucy had not transferred to the school, had she not held her head high and be like, Mitchell, you ain't gonna treat me like this just because I'm a girl, okay? Now,
You know that your school is weird, right?
Ignore Mitchell. If you keep your head down, we'll move on and bother somebody else.
I'm gonna keep my head up. High.
then Mogele called Vivian would not have gotten the idea to be like, okay, this ain't right, okay, I gotta stand up. Then she wouldn't have started MOXIE, right? So none of this would have happened had it not been for Lucy Hernandez. But yeah, as I mentioned in my intro, this movie is definitely better than I anticipated, okay? The trailer did not do it justice for me, but I liked it. It was a nice movie. You learn a lot of different stuff about races and, you know, different genders, sexuality, and all of that. You learn a lot. There's a lot you can learn from this film, okay? I really liked it. Really liked it. Feel like a lot of people will like it too. So, yeah. That's what's up. So on that note, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment, switch on post notifications, all that amazing stuff. Until next time, stay grand. Bye.